Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Several homes and buildings are badly damaged after several EF1 tornadoes ripped through central Kentucky. One of those tornadoes left behind significant damage in parts of Scott County. We talked to a man whose porch was ripped right off his house.
A violent crash on a Scott County road kills 2 young fathers and a 3-year-old boy.
WKYT News at 4:30 starts now. Good afternoon to you. Amber Philpott and Jennifer Palumbo reporting. Sam has the afternoon off. Many across the Commonwealth are using today's nice weather to clean up from last night's storm damage. This afternoon, we are getting a better look at some hard-hit areas of Harrison County.
The National Weather Service reports an EF1 tornado with winds over 100 miles an hour touched down south of Cynthiana. This is Sky First video of the damage. Victor Puente is in Harrison County and talked to storm victims. It's our top story at 4:30.
The cleanup here just south of Cynthiana is expected to take a couple of days. This afternoon, the National Weather Service paid a visit and said it was a tornado that caused all of this damage. On US 62, that tornado took down 2 barns on the Saunders farm, trapping tractors and equipment inside. Meteorologists with the National Weather Service paid a visit to survey the damage and said it looked as if an EF1 tornado had touched down there. Less than a mile away on US 27, multiple families had to begin cleaning up their yards after dozens of trees were shattered by the storm. Inez Bergen's sons are cleaning up her yard. She told me her granddaughter had just gotten off the bus when she saw a tornado warning on WKYT and told the young girl they would play like they were having a tornado. They then took shelter in their bathroom. When they came outside, she saw just how strong that tornado had been.
It looked like that we had been bombed because there were trees everywhere.
That Weather Service meteorologist told me he believed that tornado actually produced 2 smaller funnels that crisscrossed before touching down near US 62. In Harrison County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
An EF1 tornado touched down in Scott County, causing significant damage.
Along with strong winds, hail was also a big problem. Check out this eyewitness picture. Some people say the hail near Georgetown was the size of a baseball. WKYT's Rebecca Smith is in Stamping Ground where the tornado touched down. She continues our team coverage.
I looked out the window, I seen a piece of black something go. I said, well, James, something blowing by that window out there, something blowing away out there. He come out and said, well, everything's blowed away.
The Turner's home was one of the worst damaged we saw here in Stamping Ground. The side porch was ripped off and thrown across a field by the powerful winds of an EF1 tornado.
This particular storm could very well be the same storm that went through Paris. So one of the things we have to do then is determine what the damage path is here and determine if it was off the ground long enough to call it a separate tornado.
This here behind me is just one of the structures at the Turner house that was completely ripped off its foundation and swept to the other side of the yard. This is originally where the wishing well stood. Now the roof was partially ripped off. They'll have to use a tarp to cover it until it can be repaired. With potential rain in the forecast starting tomorrow and going into the weekend, they'll need it.
It was there by that truck, I guess, coming right straight towards me. I said, we got to get in the bathroom or somewhere. I said, that's a tornado. And before I even had time to turn around, mostly, it done went through and done what it done.
In Scott County, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
Well, they are certainly lucky. With the help of the Scott County Fire Department, the assessment team was able to use a drone to help get a better view of all that damage. We are finally getting some calm after 2 days of a lot of rain and severe weather here in the Bluegrass.
But the break may not last long. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a first look at the forecast. Chris?
Yeah, there's a cold front that made its way through the area over the past 24 hours, putting the brakes on to our south, and it's going to try to lift back to the north. That's never a good thing because that means rounds of showers and thunderstorms will likely accompany that as we go through the next several days. So let's enjoy what we have on Live First Alert Defender as of right now. And that's a clean sweep, a calm sweep as folks get out and try to pick up the pieces, as you're seeing in a lot of that video coming out of the central Kentucky area, clustering of thunderstorms, just working one right after another over the same piece of real estate. High pressure, good guy in all this, giving us the pleasant weather that we have out there today. Unfortunately, though, moisture not that far away. Some showers as close by as Memphis, Tennessee, back into parts of Missouri. All of that is going to lift its way back to the northeast into central and eastern parts of Kentucky in the coming days. So that high pressure that's on top of the region now is going to give way to a lot of moisture, and the front that is to our west basically becomes stationary right on top of Kentucky in the coming days. That's not a good thing, because that means a prolonged period of heavy rain and thunderstorms on the way. When I come back in a little bit, we'll break down that threat in a little greater detail as we look closer into that weekend forecast.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Investigators say 3 people died in a weather-related crash in central Kentucky.
Police say a car crossed the center line and collided with an SUV on Kentucky 227 between Stamping Ground and Georgetown during a storm yesterday afternoon. The 2 drivers and a 3-year-old boy all died. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is in Scott County with the latest.
2 vehicles crashed head-on near the curve in this road, killing 2 young fathers and a 3-year-old boy. The crash happened just after 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon on Kentucky 227. Deputies say 4 people were in a Ford Explorer, 22-year-old Trevor Spencer, his pregnant wife, and 2 children. Their SUV collided head-on with a Ford Mustang. 29-year-old Corey Wilcoxon was the driver of that car. His daughter was a passenger. Authorities say heavy rain caused Wilcoxon to cross the center line in a curve. Spencer, his 3-year-old son Skylar Spencer, and Wilcoxon all died at the scene. Authorities tell us Spencer's wife went into labor shortly after the crash. We're told she delivered a healthy baby at UK Hospital. She, along with her daughter and Wilcoxon's daughter, who were also taken to UK, are expected to recover. Now, we were able to talk to Wilcoxon's manager at Buffalo Wild Wings in Georgetown. We learned that he had been a cook there for a few months and was a funny guy to work with. That manager did not want to go on camera, but told us he talked to Wilcoxon shortly before the accident. He said he would be running late for work because his daughter was running a fever and he had to take her to the hospital. Investigators tell us everyone involved in this accident was wearing a seatbelt and all of the children were in proper car seats. In Scott County, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
The manager at Buffalo Wild Wings says the restaurant also plans to hold a fundraiser for Wilcoxon and his 3 children.
Lexington is looking to join a growing list of cities in banning electronic cigarettes indoors. The council committee voted 8-0 to add e-cigarettes to the citywide smoking ban. That's according to the Herald Leader. The issue now goes to the full council for a vote. If Lexington bans e-cigarettes, it will be the largest Kentucky city to do so. After years of debate, city leaders in Berea have rejected a fairness ordinance. Leaders voted 5-3 against the measure. The Herald Leader reports one councilwoman said she voted no because she feared pricey legal battles. The fairness ordinance is meant to prohibit discrimination against the LGBT community.
Rapper Lil Jon's summer hit, Turn Down for What, is getting a new spin for election season. That's next on WKYT News at 4:30.